All right. Well, it's here. Finally here. This is a week we all look forward to. Rivalry week all across the country. If you're a college football fan, this is always a special week. Truly, the whole week. It's always something fun to be a part of, and something I certainly appreciate and don't take for granted. And been a part of a lot of these. I guess this is my 20th one of these, and 13 Alabama-Auburn games. So, a lot of fun to be a part of, games like this that really matter to so many people. And always tough to head down to Columbia. That's a great environment. Their fans do an awesome job creating a really tough venue to go play. But man, we look forward to the challenge. We got to have a great week of preparation. Obviously, they got some dudes that can really hurt you. Starting with their quarterback, I think he has really played good football for them. And he's a very, very, and heck, he played great against us last year. And he's a guy that plays a lot of confidence. He can do a lot of things with his legs and his arms. Seems like every week I'm looking up, I'm seeing some quarterback's going to play in the NFL, like every single week. That's what we look at, and he's no different. So just another great quarterback, man, that presents a huge challenge for us. And he's got good receivers. The 24s really settled in and become a really hard-nosed, tough to tackle back for them. They've gotten some continuity up front. They're a little bit like us in that regard. They've had some kind of musical chairs a little bit with guys being in and out of the lineup or hurt, whatever. And so they've kind of created a little bit of continuity there. Tight end's a good player. They've got that number 8 going. He's kind of an interesting guy. He's a big, young athlete that I think's got a bright future. He's kind of been getting in the mix as well. But, 17 he's a superstar. And again, it seems like every week I look up and there's some freak outside that we're seeing. So great quarterbacks. We've seen a bunch of them. So they certainly present a lot of challenges there. And then defensively, this is a tough group, man. We've seen a bunch of these guys, and they've got a couple guys that have had all conference, all American status at safety. I think their linebacker, I think the nickel kid is 24. Their nickel guy, he's a good football player, young guy, but a really good player, and got good experience in the linebacker core, and some of these guys that have been there forever up front. They've played a bunch of snaps, throughout their career. So definitely a group that will be excited to play the Tigers. And again, rivalry games. This doesn't really matter what you've done, last year, last 10 years, last week, doesn't really matter. It just comes down to, playing well in these 4 quarters. But looking forward to it. Off to a good start with our preparation. And obviously this is a different week from a preparation standpoint. It is Thanksgiving. We certainly, try to take time to make sure that we celebrate that, give these guys some time with their families and things. But hope y'all all have a great Thanksgiving as well. And we, regardless of what happens on the scoreboard Saturday night, whether you're a Tiger or a Gamecock, we got a lot to be thankful for. All of us, that we have the privilege to be able to just, go participate in a game like this. There's certainly a lot of things going on in our world, and we can't ever lose sight of how fortunate and how blessed we are to be able to have pause, if you will, and celebrate a game, and compete. And it's important for this state. So excited to be a part of it. Look forward to heading down there on Friday and seeing if we can play our best game.
Hey, hey. Uh, hey, everyone. It's officially that week. It's Hay Week, and we have the sensor running ready. So if Jason starts to go off the rails, we can keep him under control. Yeah, so I am Zach Lentz of allclemson.com, allclemsontires.com, Clemson Raven, old-time media platform. Joined as always by Jason Priester, who is busy traveling the state. And today in preparation for this game, I know that Rucaro said today that, he was impressed by how they get so many towels out there at the stadium. He said that, his first trip down there, he was just shocked at all the towels and how they get them out there. I found out their secret. See, they really just use this stuff. And they just tear off a little piece and they do a little swing around thing. So that is all the Gamecocks have.
Somebody forgot to tell him that they waved those and they waved those in an effort, for the surrender sign, white flag.
Exactly, yeah. And judging by the way their stadium looks half the time, after halftime, you'd think that it is a pretty successful thing. Shane, and your coach has to call out your students, after the game for not showing up, in the fourth quarter or third quarters of the games against teams like Kentucky. That is not a good look.
No, it's not a good look. It's a 14-10, but it's a 4-point ball game. I think it was 14-10.
Yeah.
Four-quarter game, man, and half your student section's gone. Your head coach is having to call them out after the game. Yeah, that's not a good look at all, man. You don't ever want to have your head coach, pleading with the students to stay for all 4 quarters. And this will probably be taken as a shot, but it's not.
Well, hey, is the week. If you're going to take a shot, take it. So,
you call it a shot if you want, but it's a fact, man, that place, a lot of times late in second halves, it is emptied out.
Yeah.
It's well known for it. And a lot
of
times
it's like all their fans go out at halftime and change into aluminum colored shirts.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's, granted they're losing, but this past Saturday that they weren't. We're talking about a competitive 4-quarter ball game, man, and half your student section's gone. It's not a good look at all.
Exactly. Yeah. So we are going to start something new today, okay? And it is simply a question of the day. And so our question of the day is this: what or whom do you hate more than USC? So if you want to get in on the question of the day, we'll be happy to throw your answers out there. Let's start with you, Jason. Do hemorrhoids, do you hate them more than USC, or is there anything that you hate more than them?
Very little. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, to be quite honest. Not even hemorrhoids. I mean,
oh, come on.
Maybe I hate stepping in a pile of shit that my dog left me a little more, and I hate Gamecocks. But outside of that, man, I'm having a hard time of thinking something.
Yeah, I mean, hemorrhoids and Gamecocks kind of go together. I am thinking, they are both, pains in your asses and stuff. I mean, so, that is something that, really, so let's see here. So, Jason, kind of segueing right to that, I want to kind of not necessarily push back on what he had to say, but I want to get your thoughts on this, okay? So let's get in here first. USC is over there with IBS.
That's pretty bad.
That is true, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you have these shits, and you can't control when they're coming or going and stuff.
That's pretty bad.
That is awful. Uh, yeah. So let's see here. All right. So, he was singing Spencer Rattler's praises there in the opening. I just want your uh, quick take here on, is Rattler a better quarterback than Drake May? Yes or no?
No.
Sam Hartman?
Mm, equivalent, maybe. Maybe right in the same league. He's not better than Drake May.
Okay. Jordan Travis?
Mm, maybe a little.
All
He's on the same.
right. Haynes King?
Yes.
All right. Riley Leonard?
Yes.
All right. So, see, you have a little bit more respect for Rattler than I do. I, I think, they and Harden and Travis easily, is a very QE. And I would even say King, and Leonard before he is hurt, you know, are stronger QEs than Rattler. So, yeah, the Tiger defense has fared, fairly well against those guys. I mean, you tweeted out earlier today the stat that was, I think, in the notes, out there, the pass defense improvement this year. And that is going up against all these guys. So, I mean, honestly, I think, Dow was being overly generous in his praise of Rattler. And also, talking about the guys that he has out there catching the ball. No one on that team is better than Tez Walker or Keon Cohen. I mean, and
No.
so look, I understand that Leggett is a great receiver, but he is not even in the same discussion as Keon Cohen and Tez Walker. I mean, and yeah,
They can hype Xavier Legette up all they want to. He ain't Keon Coleman. Um, against Texas A&M, Tennessee, Missouri, and Georgia, Legette has 16 catches. He averaged 4 per game. 161 total yards against those 4 teams. 40 yards per game. 0 touchdowns. Those are the 4 better teams they played this year. He's done his best work against the lesser teams on that schedule. That's where all 7 of his touchdowns have come against over 1,000 yards and 49 catches against the rest of the schedule. So I mean, it's not like he's going out there lighting every defense up he sees. I think Clemson's got some defensive backs that can. I'm not sitting here going to claim they're going to shut him down completely. He'll probably get some. The wide receiver's going to win a matchup from time to time. It's hard to shut a guy completely down. But although we did see Nate Wiggins do it with Keon Coleman, but he probably won't be shut completely down, but that's a matchup I like. I give Clemson the edge in, man. And it's not just because of Nate Wiggins, the emergence of Avion Terrell too. I mean, I think you got two fantastic corners over there that gives you a lot of options with how you defend a one-dimensional South Carolina offense.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, I think that, Dow was really trying to, I guess, be as PC as he can, and I give South Carolina any material to hang in their locker room. But the thing is, this South Carolina team is nowhere even close to North Carolina. They're nowhere close to Florida State. They're nowhere close to, I'd say even Notre Dame. So when you talk about, those are teams that the Tigers had a great deal of success against. And honestly, if it wasn't for the turnovers, you're looking at a win against FSU and, a win against Miami. And so, yeah, I think, Dow is just, being overly nice because they're honestly, Juice Wells is not playing this game. And there is not a player on the South Carolina team that I'm scared of. I mean, your running back, is a transfer from Newberry. Yeah, he is doing great, and it's a great story. But, you can't convince me that he is better than the backs that you faced last week and the backs that FSU brought into Clemson and the backs that Notre Dame has. And I mean, so honestly, there isn't a whole lot to scare you if you're Clemson's defense. The only way I think Clemson loses this game is if they give them points on offense.
Absolutely. This, like I said, this is a one-dimensional South Carolina offense. They average 87 rushing yards per game. If you can contain Rattler and put a blanket on Leggett, you're going to shut that offense down. There's just not a whole lot of other playmakers on that side of the ball for South Carolina. Offensive line's not very good, even though they've been a little bit better here down the stretch. Um, one of the biggest things I remember from this college football season is them giving up 9 sacks to North Carolina in the season opener, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They're not very good up front. They're just
yeah,
not.
and that honestly is a North Carolina defense that is nowhere close to what Clemson has.
Oh no, that said more about South Carolina's offensive line than it did North Carolina's defense. We've learned that since. Make no mistake, that offensive line is not very good. Again, I think they played a little bit better down the stretch. They're still not very good, but if you can just kind of put a cap on that passing game and kind of blanket Leggett, um, you know, you're probably going to beat them, assuming you stay out of your own way and don't beat
Yeah.
yourself.
Oh yeah. I mean, there is a lot of, talk about, this game, that you can throw the records out and that kind of shit. I mean, honestly though, I think, the team that has the better record heading into this game has an incredible advantage in the overall records. I mean, so, that saying, is great for these coaches and stuff, to kind of get the fans to go, all right, maybe there is something here that, we need to be careful about. But in reality, Clemson is the more complete team. They are the more uh, balanced team on offense, and they have the arguably one of the best defenses they have seen all season. I would venture to say that Clemson's defense is more disruptive and can cause more issues than even Georgia's. I mean, this is not the same Georgia team that we have seen the last couple of seasons. They have had, they have not, just ran through the opponents the way they had the last couple of years. And so, I think that Clemson's defense is the best one that they will have seen.
Yeah, you can make that argument that Clemson is the better defense, best defense they've seen all season. It's definitely one of the top two. It is as disruptive as any they've seen all season, especially up front. And those linebackers, man, they're playing so good right now. And again, the back end, it has just come together so well for Clemson down the stretch. Pass defense is so much improved over what we saw a season ago. I think South Carolina is going to find getting a whole lot of momentum against that defense extremely difficult. Again, I think the game plan for Clemson should be simple. Just pound it right at them and limit the mistakes and lean on that defense, and you ought to be fine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I see. Clemson is officially in the rankings. It just was announced they are number 24 in the new playoff rankings. They are, let's see, the only other 4-loss team is Tennessee, and they are at 21. So, we called it this past weekend, and said that Clemson took care of their job on Saturday. You could very well see them in the rankings. And sure enough, the committee has rewarded the Tigers for, knocking off 2 top 20 teams in the last 2 out of 3 weeks. So that is breaking news. Also breaking now is the fact that FSU has been jumped by Washington. So
You knew that was coming.
yeah,
With Jordan Travis getting hurt, they're gonna get screwed if they went. Even if they went out, they're gonna get screwed out of a spot. They got the excuse to leave them out now.
yeah, yeah. So the thing is now that could potentially throw a wrench into ACC's pecking order of the bowls. If FSU is left out, that would mean that the winner, instead of going to the CFP, is now going to Orangeville, which knocks everyone else down a spot.
Exactly right. That would knock everybody else down a spot.
And could send Jason to El Paso.
And you coming with me, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's see here. Hard time gets in and says, I'd rather send her a Wildcats rather than hope for USC for any reason. Not sure that I would like either one of those things. They both seem to suck ass, and let's see.
I'm not too fond of either one of those ideas.
Yeah. Philip gets in and says Steelers fire by Canada. It's party time in Pittsburgh.
What the heck happened to Matt Canada, right? Man, he was one of the up and coming, bright, offensive minded coaches after, when he was at Pitt and they had that, dynamic offense the year they knocked off Clemson back in 2016 in Death Valley.
The shovel passes to the tight end.
His career's just torpedoed since then.
Yeah.
And it seems like he's at a different spot every year.
Yeah, I guess it shows that, the grass isn't always greener.
That is very true. Very true. because he has bottomed out.
Yes, he has. Phil continues saying the Tigers' defense seems more disciplined this year. Should be a beat down as long as the offense plays its much improved version. I think, that is kind of, where I am leaning. Honestly, the the only thing that it is giving me a little pause is the fact that outside Syracuse, the Tiger offense hasn't traveled well. So,
That gives me great pause. Clemson's been ass on the road. The offense has. Um, that gives me great pause. I think that is very worrisome. We know they're going to be able to run the ball, but are they going to be able to hold on to it and not fumble it in critical situations, or not throw a pick in a critical situation, or not have a scoop and score or a pick six or whatever it is? I just don't
yeah.
know how much I trust this offense on the road, because this is going to be by far, and it's not even close, by far the most raucous environment Cade Klubnik has played in to date.
Oh, come on, man. I'm sure those Blue Devils are giving him hell over there.
He was asked yesterday about the loudest environment he's played in. He said Syracuse. And this is gonna be a whole different animal in
Yeah.
Syracuse. I know it gets loud up there, and it's gonna be a whole different animal this week.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And as always, if you want to join the conversation, we have our question of the day. We have already established that Jason prefers hemorrhoids to USC. He also prefers driving on 26 instead of USC.
Huh.
And he also prefers stepping in dog shit to USC.
Touche.
Yeah, so, honestly, this is hate week. We love getting y'all's comments. I also want to let you know Death Valley Domain is our paid section of the site, where this week is very special. We have exclusive stories with interviews from former Tigers, Mike Williams. Uh, who else do we have? Raging Ray.
Brandon
Yeah,
Ford.
yeah, yeah, and Cleveland Farrell, and yeah,
Not Brandon Ford, was it? It's the other tight end. Was it Brandon
yeah,
Ford? Yeah,
yeah,
Brandon Ford.
yeah. You wrote this story. I
Yeah,
mean,
I
come
know.
on.
I'm telling you, my memory's getting. We
Yeah.
just saw him the other day too on the field. I
Uh-huh.
mean,
Yeah, except he was looking more like Dexter Lawrence than his old self.
he's a big dude these days.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yeah, if you want access to all those stories, especially this weekend, all you have to do is join the Death Valley domain, and it is a measly $4.99 a month or $49 a year. And then you get access to all of Jason's recruiting stuff inside the valley that drops Friday nights, as well as all the exclusive stuff that we have going on there. So be sure to check that out. Also, if you have not done so, please hit that subscribe button and like button. It helps us out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm, and gets our videos and stuff out to more people. So just do us a favor and do those things if you don't mind. Let's see here. Philip continues and says, "My dad would flip for Russia before he flew for the Gamecocks." That is a
That's a
great
good
one.
one.
This is I probably hate Notre Dame as a runner hating South Carolina Gamecocks. I think a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, I got some teams I hate more than Notre Dame though, even though I don't like them. I got some I can't stand Georgia. I can't stand North Carolina State. I can't stand Florida State. All those more so than I hate Notre Dame.
Oh,
North Carolina State actually might be my number 2 these days. I don't know. Man. I've just gotten where I cannot stand the Wolfpack, man. It might have something to do with who the head coach is, but
yeah, I mean,
so very abrasive.
yeah, exactly, exactly. And honestly, I think as I have covered teams, it almost, and you can probably see to this, you know, the teams that you start to dislike, it is no longer, from a fan side of things. It is honestly coaches and stuff, that rub you the wrong way. Like, who is it? Well, I mean, you have, Dave Doran, at NC State, who just looks like a dick. Like, you know, it's like, you see him and you're like, you just look like you would not be a, person that I would like to spend any more time with than I have to. And,
Being
and
around him for pregame the year before last on the field, I was around, and not talking to him, but I was not far from him. And you could hear him talking to people, and he was talking to the sideline reporter and stuff. Just not one of my favorite people, man.
yeah,
I just get a bad vibe off that guy.
yeah, he just looks like a slimy dude, It's
Yeah.
it's like a used car salesman.
For me, it goes back to him, the comments he made after they knocked Wayne Gallman out in that game, and the
Yeah,
comments he made on the coach's show. Yeah, that's where it kind of started with me. And he's not done anything to curtail my dislike since, only enhance it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, there was another coach that we saw this year that we were like, he just looks like he is a dick. I mean, who was it? Because I remember we
I remember that. I remember us talking about that, and I don't remember who it was.
let me see here. I think they had. Let me see.
Man, I remember us having that conversation too.
Yeah.
I don't remember who we were talking about.
Not sure. See, this is going to really, bug me.
Maybe it was Doran we was talking about.
Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, I know who it was. It was
Oh yeah.
Norvell.
Yeah. I was just about to say it was FSU's Mike
Yeah, Norvell.
Norvell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He
Let's
kind of got
see.
that look too.
Let's see. Joy gets in and says, I feel for a matchup between NC State and the Chickens with the field opening up and swallowing them.
So I'm not the
Yeah.
only one with NC State as a number 2, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. That's kind of like, people ask me all the time, who do I, pull for, like when South Carolina is playing Georgia? I always say Earthquake.
Exactly. Yeah, that would be my sentiments exactly.
Let's see. Hard Time says, I've heard the Bucknuts, we've heard the Coots. Not sure I'd go there. I mean, they are almost equal.
Yeah, they are on equal footing with me too. I can't pull for either one of those guys.
I mean, seriously, like, I will say this, having covered them, for the three times they made the playoffs, there is not a more arrogant, group of reporters and stuff than you see there. I'll never forget sitting in the media center at let's see, I think it was the 2015 game. Yeah, it was the 2015 game. And the, was it 15 or 16? 16.
They played after the 2014 season, then they played after the 2016 season.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a 16 game at Phoenix. All right. I'll never forget. Yeah. I'll never forget sitting there listening to these guys and like just the amount of disrespect they have for teams, is amazing. Like you would have thought that their shit doesn't stink, and that they're walking on, water and stuff. But it was awful.
Yeah, I am not a big fan of the Ohio State football program, their fan base, or that head coach there either. Matter of the first, the yeah, I'm not a big fan of Ryan Day at all, man. He's just he kind of grows me the same way Dave Dorn does.
Yeah, well, it, honestly, this week I think, we are all Michigan fans. We are all, Clemson fans. We are all, here's the kicker, all right? So, North Carolina, they have a I guess the best way to say it is an area about them too. But the fact is, I am still going to be rooting for the Tar Heels this weekend against NC State.
Same here. I'll pull for North Carolina over NC State, and I can't stand North Carolina either, but I hate North Carolina State more. So it's kind of the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know who else met with us today was Athletic Director Graham Neff, and he talked about the future of this rivalry, the conference realignment and stuff going on, as well as, the fact that this game is not anything that is sacred, as we saw in 2000, the SEC, didn't let the Tigers and the Gamecocks play. So, he actually was asked about the importance of the rivalry and kind of his vision for it moving forward. So let's hear from him. And this is the director of athletics, Graham Neff.
I don't believe we've struck a contract, and quite frankly, we will, and we need to. Right? There's the paperworking aspect of it, but yeah, it's just a non-negotiable. And Ray and I have talked about we have and will continue to play that game. Period. However, landscape continues to change. No conversations otherwise, no mindset otherwise. Absolutely.
There's been a lot of talk with the SEC going to 9 conference games as they expand. But even if they do that, so I mean, I know the SEC canceled this game in 2020, even though both schools wanted to play.
That's right.
Ending a long streak of consecutive meetings, but no thought to discontinuing that at all if they do move to 9 games.
Right. The SEC hasn't. I know that's something that they're considering. Yeah, should Coach Tanner and I have talked about that. Should the SEC change their conference matchups? Would expect. I certainly would. And I know his mindset is to continue to play this game. Yeah. Period.
Did the date change? earlier in the year as opposed to late in the year with the schedule?
It always could. Yeah, it always could. And I know, I guess at various times the rivalry has been played earlier in the season or to start the season or at various times. So, I think we both feel that it's in a really good traditional spot at this last week of the season. So we haven't struck conversations. I would put that as sure it could. And I think we'd have to be responsive to the changing landscape of college athletics as it relates to when that schedule is, right? There's been discussions nationally as it relates to moving the whole season up a week and week 0 and how that plays into the calendar of the month of December and CFP expansion, et cetera. So I think that's squarely in, hey, we need to be strategic and adaptive to
So that was, our director of athletics growing up, talking about the future of this game. And, he said something there that I found very interesting. As we were sitting, in this press conference, he mentioned the idea of moving the game earlier in the season. I mean, honestly, I love that idea. I think that, you look at, the Oklahoma Texas game, that is played, in the 3rd or 4th week of the season. FSU Miami is not the last game of the season. You also have, the rare shootout, that's Texas Oklahoma. Then you have OSU Oklahoma, in the Bedlam. So I think, there are a lot of successful teams that have, had their rivalry game not play the last game of the season, and it has worked out fine. Honestly, I think that as the conferences expand, you're going to have to look at options like that if you're going to keep this rivalry alive.
Yeah, I prefer it on the last week of the season, like Oklahoma State, LSU, Arkansas, all the Florida State, North Carolina State, Louisville, Kentucky. That's my preference. But no, you got to keep all the options on the table. Absolutely. Because you don't know with all this expansion and where things are going to be headed 5 years from now. But yeah, everything's on the table. I could absolutely see it getting moved, no doubt about it. It didn't sound like that was something they wanted to do. The way you answered that question, but you could tell it's something that's been broached and something they know might be a possibility at some point in the future.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much, Joy. We love y'all too. And thank y'all for the support. We do this because, Jason and I, like to just talk Clemson sports. And we do these shows for you guys. So thank you for the support.
Hey, I'll add one more thing to that. If Clemson and South Carolina end up in 2 different conferences after all this dust settles, I mean, you better start worrying about that game being played at all. Because I think we're going to see more conference games, and I think we're going to see the out-of-conference games just, if not go away altogether, there won't be very many at all.
Yeah. Yeah, and the SEC, I think they are doing away with the FCS games. Yeah. When they go to this 9-conference team schedule. So honestly, this is completely off the topic, but that is really going to hurt, some of these in-state schools that rely on those games to fund their entire athletic departments.
Yeah, and the Big Ten's already done that. They've already gone away from scheduling the FCS teams. So, this is just another another body blow dealt to those schools because, like you said, that those types of games, while they might not be fun to watch or fun to attend or anything like that, because they're usually one-sided blowouts, but that's how those schools fund their athletic departments for an entire year. There's a reason they play those games. They don't go down there and get their brains kicked in because they like it.
Actually, I mean, if you're Auburn, you just pay, you get your ass kicked. So that is a double whammy.
Hey, well, that's the chance you take. Every now and then one of those teams is going to sneak up on you and beat you, and not just beat you, but beat you handily. And we saw New Mexico State do that Saturday.
Oh, that was great. Yeah.
We've seen that happen to South Carolina a couple of times over the years with the Citadel. We've seen it happen to Michigan with App State. There's been some examples of it. It happens from time to time. Virginia Tech got beaten by some G5 schools. It happens.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So thank you, Tyler from Spartanburg. We are ranked in the top 25 again. Number 24 Tigers to eat the chickens by 13.
Yeah, I refuse to give that guy any of the credit for anything that's going on since then, man, because we found out since that Dabo was already going scorched earth even before that phone call, man. I think somebody was drawing his ire that night, no matter what. Maybe not quite as, maybe it might not have got as quite as heated as it did, but we found out since he was already going off on people before that phone call ever happened, man. I refuse to give that guy any credit or any more attention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Someone is going to get that right. So let's see. Dingus says all in go Tigers. Also says you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Thank you so much, Dean. You do as well. Love your show. We love y'all. Joining us every week. Let's see. Ella is over saying the last one for a while.
Yeah, this year's the last year they played out for a while.
Yeah, exactly. And Dow, referenced that. He said, you're telling me Oklahoma State isn't happening next year? That is insane. Now, you do get Texas and, let's see, Texas A&M, right? But the fact is, you're losing some of these great rivalries.
You're going to lose more, too, as expansion continues. You just got to keep your fingers crossed that this one is not one that you lose, because I think it's a possibility. It just depends on where Clemson ends up when the dust settles.
Yeah. Michael brings up a great point here. Says if we go to the Big Ten, does that end the UFC game? Well, I mean, yeah, it will.
Very well could.
It's a certainty because the Big Ten has done away with FCS teams. That's right. Yeah, I see you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. So see there.
That's a good one, man.
Thank you. Yeah.
Very good.
Michael also says I enjoy the SC game. They're more fun and Clemson always wins.
Hey, that is a positive to those games. Those are the ones you can get tickets for $35, $40 now because that's a rarity these days. You can get cheap tickets to cheap park. Just go enjoy a family day.
It sure is. Or you can take your wife or girlfriend, or
your side chick, whatever you got going on.
That's true.
Or your side dude. Let's see, we are equal opportunity here, so side dude or side chick.
Yeah.
Serenity now! Serenity now!
Hopefully, I ain't talking too loud. And my wife can't hear me. Just starting furry things. Sure want to know what I've been doing the last 4 days.
That's true. Yeah, you have, been away from her for 4 days, so she might be curious as to what dude you're talking about.
I know, man. She already took a shot at me when I got home. She says, "You don't even act like you're glad to be home." So you go sit in that traffic for 2 hours. You won't be glad either.
Um,
We see we going off the rails now.
yes, we are. So, we have about 9 minutes left in the show. So let's talk a little bit about this game on Saturday. Because,
I would pay to see
oh my god.
That would be worth the price of admission alone, right? Can you imagine?
That was good, Michael. That was good. Yeah, so let's try, if we can, talk a little bit about this game Saturday. So, in case y'all are wondering, because of the holiday weekend and kind of Thanksgiving, I know all you guys are going to be out there, Black Friday shopping with the eyes. Yes, you are, Jason. You shake that damn head all you want. Your ass is going to be out there all day
Not a
Friday.
chance, bro. Not a chance.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there's no pre-game show on Friday night. This is going to be it. So, Jason, give us the matchup that you are most watching this week. Last week, we both said that Nate Wiggins and Tez Walker are our matchup, and honestly, it did not disappoint. I think Nate, made himself a lot of money last Saturday. So, what is the matchup that you're watching this week?
Same thing. Nate Wiggins, Xavier Leggett, because Leggett's talking trash today, and like he don't even know who Nate Wiggins is. So I got a feeling he's going to find out Saturday. He just being a little disrespectful. This year's South Carolina maybe giving Clemson a little bit of bulletin board material in that regard.
Hang on. I missed that. So, can you fill us in on what he said?
Let me go back and pull the whole thing up here.
All right. Yeah. And while you're doing that, I am going to tell you mine. Mine is simply a Shifley and Moffat holding on to the football. I think, if Clemson doesn't turn the ball over, I think they win this game easily. However, as we have seen all season long with this team, if they turn the ball over, they can, make it a game with anyone.
Yeah, to me, that's going to be one of the biggest things. You got to protect the football. I think if Clemson's going to win, they probably have to win the turnover margin, right? You can't be out there putting the ball on the ground. You got to be better with your ball security than you have been, in previous games on the road.
Yeah, and it's not only that; it's the fact that the environment down there, is going to just get out of control. If Clemson starts to, put the ball on the ground, throw INTs, the momentum of the game can change in a heartbeat. So, have you gotten Legette's comments yet?
I am looking for them now. Somebody sent it to me today, and I didn't never listen to all of them. I just read the little transcript and it said that Leggett's saying he don't even know who Nate Wiggins is. I didn't get home in time to listen to the whole thing. Now I can't even find it.
Damn, man, come on.
I can't even remember. I can't even remember who put it, who sent it to me. All right, let's see here. But the thing said, he said he didn't even know who Nate Wiggins was. And I got a feeling if he said that, he's gonna find out real quick. Like, to me, that is going to be one of the biggest things about this game. Because if you take him out of it, you shut that offense down, period, man. And I cannot find it for the life of me.
I am currently looking for it.
It was a little clip of a video. I cannot find it. It was on Twitter. Oh, that drives me crazy when I see something, then I can't go back and find it.
Let me see here.
Yep, I cannot find it either. That ticks me off a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I can't find it either.
Like it's been scrubbed, man. I saw that thing 3 times earlier today, and on my way home, I was like, I gotta watch that when I get home.
Yeah, this is how you know that this show is completely live and unscripted. When you sit here and you have the two dumbasses that are hosting the show, looking for shit, they can't find on, Twitter and stuff. But
Man, it is just I don't see the tweet at all that I'm looking for now.
uh-huh.
The
Yeah,
video.
see there it has been scrubbed.
So maybe they deleted it.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You know, also want to let everyone know that you can head over to allclemsontigers.com for our coverage of the team heading into this game, as well as the lead up stuff. And Friday at noon, we'll drop our predictions for the game. So if you're wanting to know scores and stuff like that, you can check it out Friday. So, without giving away your score, Jason, I know that last week, you had an extra day to think about it, but
Oh,
who do you like?
I think Clemson wins. I think it's probably going to be closer than a lot of people think, but I think Clemson wins.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had, as long as they don't turn the ball over, and they keep, the turnovers to a minimum, I think they win fairly easily, simply because Rattler and that offense has yet to face a defense like he is going to face. I know last year he, they made some, plays on this defense. This defense is a completely different animal than they were last year. So I expect that defense to come out hungry. And look, there is no greater motivation than losing the game. And the Tigers had that last year. Also, they can keep South Carolina from a bowl game this year. And so I think that there is a lot, in the Tigers' favor.
I do too. I think the biggest thing for me on the defense is you got to be a little bit better at containing Rattler than you were against Drake May. They let him get loose a couple of times, and I think if you can clean that stuff up, be a little bit better with your tackling, and be a little bit more disciplined, I think Clemson should be fine Saturday night because I just don't think South Carolina's going to be able to score enough, man. I just don't see it happening. Assuming Clemson just doesn't go into self-destruct mode.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, if anyone is looking for some towels for the game, I have exactly what they use right here, a little TP for the team. So, Dan Saruk, how they get all those towels out of there, they just tear toilet paper, and that is what they're waving around. But the fact is, this is a great, week. It's the it's a week that we all look forward to covering these teams, and honestly, it's a week that houses are divided and friendships are ruined, and marriages are sent to counseling. So there is honestly nothing better than Clemson, South Carolina week. So, I'm looking forward to getting down to Columbia on Saturday. I'll check into the hotel around noon, watch some football, eat some food, and then head over to, the cockroach, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I am beginning to think that somebody might have exaggerated about what Leggett said. As far as I
Uh,
can tell, he's not even spoken to the media since after the game against Kentucky Saturday night. He didn't even speak to media today, so I think somebody made that up. So I'm gonna retract that. I think somebody made that up and I was exaggerating a little bit, trying to start something on Twitter.
Hang on, you mean people like to start shit on Twitter? Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, I know. Imagine that, right? Not in this
Yeah,
day and age.
exactly.
I
Yeah,
don't want to say he said something he didn't say because I'm not sure he did. Especially since he's not one of the players that even spoke today.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah.
Wait a minute, look,
Uh, uh-huh.
maybe there you go. He said he watched it, so I'm not okay. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew I saw that thing, and it was in
Yeah,
quotation marks.
yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, it sounds like there could be some CIA the state,
Was it from the
stuck
game?
on.
Was it from after the Kentucky game when he said it? Is that when he said it, Mike, in his interview after the Kentucky game, sitting beside Spencer Rattler? Because they don't have anything up for him on their YouTube site today. They got a bunch of players that talked today, talking Hemingway and let's see, Debo Williams, Addix Huntley, Marcellus Dow, Mario Anderson, Spencer Rattler, but no Leggett. So it had to. I know the clip I seen. It was from this same video conference from Saturday night. So I just didn't ever listen to it. I was gonna listen to it when I got home. I'm gonna go back and listen to the whole thing when we get done here. It ain't even 5 minutes long.
Let's see here. I'm going to give this one more try.
Yeah, I probably couldn't find it on Twitter because it's probably a few days old, and I wasn't going back that far. I was thinking it came from today.
I see here.
Tell you what, that Dabo Sweeney was very complimentary of him today. That's for sure, Xavier Leggett.
Yes, he was.
He was the epitome of football being a developmental game. That's not it.
I just did a search for Nate Xavier Leggett on Twitter. I don't see anything yet. I'm not saying it's not out there, but if
I did the same
someone,
thing. I couldn't find anything either.
yeah. So if someone has the clip and wants to share it with us, please do. But yeah,
I'm very interested in that now. I'm gonna go watch the whole presser from after the game and see what they say.
yeah.
Because now I'm intrigued.
Exactly, yeah. Well, Donald Trump is coming to the game, so maybe there's some deep state, FBI, CIA conspiracy going on, with, I think the social media. And also,
as many times as I saw that tweet earlier today, that I can't find it now.
in all seriousness, if you are a fan and you are going to this game this week, you want to get to the stadium early because security is going to be a huge pain in the ass. I mean, there you have, a president or former president coming to the game. Secret Service is going to be there, as well as enhanced security. So just, a little warning, we saw this, in 2021, the national championship against LSU when Trump came. So, it is going to be a mess. So, if you're headed to that game, just give yourself a little extra time.
Yeah, not looking forward to that aspect at all.
Yes, sir. Well, you know what? We are looking forward to this game on Saturday. So, you know, everyone get your fill of turkey this week, or ham, or whatever you want. And then just get ready for a great game on Saturday. So, Jason, before we let everyone go, all right, let's one final question. What is your go-to side dish for
Oh man,
Thanksgiving?
macaroni and cheese, brother. My wife cooks it in the crock pot, man. It is, I don't know the way, however she does it, it is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. There is something different about that crock pot mac and cheese. You know, Jocelyn, my wife, does that too. And honestly, you know, I had never had it like that until we got married. And honestly, it's a game changer.
Yeah, my wife just started doing it. She hadn't been doing it the whole time we've been married, just a few years ago, man. And she does it all the time. Now it's, oof, man, I love it.
Hmm. Yeah, that and green bean casserole.
Yeah, I'll let you have that one. I'll stick with the mac and cheese.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Jason, anything you want to say as we wrap up the show?
Be safe out there, man. Enjoy the holiday.
Yes, sir. Same to you and everyone out there. You know, enjoy the holidays, spend time with your family, talk shit to them if they're South Carolina fans, and you know, just have a great week. Thank you all so much for joining us this year. You know, honestly, I feel like that as the football season starts to come to a close, you know, we still have, you know, a lot of stuff to get into with the early signing day and
December
well,
20th.
yeah, and we still have, you know, practices and a ball game to look forward to. But honestly, you know, I just want to thank everyone that has watched our shows, that has joined our channels, that has subscribed, you know, that leaves comments and likes. You know, honestly, you know, where we were sitting, you know, just 6 months ago, it is really, you know, a blessing to get to do this for a living. And, you know, it is all because of our followers and subscribers and the uh, people that watch us on these videos, you know, cutting up, you know, and honestly, you know, I think that, you know, from where we have come, you know, in such a short amount of time, things are only going to continue to grow and improve and stuff. So thank you all for joining us on this journey. You know, we could not have done it without you all. And you are truly the reason that Jason and I do this every week and continue to be able to tell our wives, hey, you know what? We are going to, you know, be away for 4 or 5 days. And so thank you all for joining us. I mean that, you know, from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, I am truly thankful for the community that we have, you know, surrounding us.
Same here. I echoed those sentiments.
All right.
Hey, here you go. Michael found it. He said he found it. And the video was edited to act like he said
So there was a little CIA or FBI
that.
deep fake.
Good to know.
it
Appreciate you doing some detective work for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as always, we'll be back here next Wednesday night, back on our normal time and day. So for Jason, I am Zach. Thank you again so much for joining us tonight. Y'all have a safe holiday, and we'll see you next week for Monday Live.